to get away.
LeBron James. What more can you say about the guy that hasn't already been said? He can play anywhere on the court, and he gets it done on both ends like nobody else in the league. If we can't slow him down, this game could get out of hand real quick. It's gonna be one of the biggest tests of the season for me, that's for sure. Time to step up.
A chance to look around and see all the sights and sounds that downtown Cleveland has to offer. Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. We got Doris Burks on the sideline as well. Padova's checked in. Lance Stevenson's checked in for the Grizzlies. Freak comes in for Allen. Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
So on the floor for Memphis. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Conley out there with Freak. And it's Stevenson in at the 3.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
The Grizzlies trail by 5. Conley kicks to Freak. Back to Conley. There's the feed to Freak. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet.
And the Grizzlies played so well against all the other playoff teams. Part of it is that they just have a style that matches up well with anyone.
Dellavedova kicks to Love. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
Channing Frye's checked in for the Cavaliers. Iman Shumpert has come in for Kyrie Irving. Memphis also making some changes. Anderson, he's checked in for Gasol. And Brandon Wright is subbed in for Zach Randolph. Freak kicks to Wright. Conley with it, now guarded by Shumpert. The pass to Freak. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Clock at 4. Here's Stevenson. And it's good off the back rim and in.
You know, that's the thing with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, there isn't a team that gives them too much trouble anywhere in the league. They're good at home and on the road. They're used to playing in tight, low-scoring games, and they create that situation with their deliberate style.
Dellavedova from outside. Good for the basket. Starting off 1-for-1 with that shot.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Now it's in and down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with head coach Tyronn Lue.
Yes, Kevin, the crucial aspect for them in his mind is going to be making things tough inside for their opponent. He said they're physical, they like to mix it up. If we don't respond in kind, they'll push us around and we'll get bullied all game. Back to you.
All right, Doris, thanks. Passes it to James. 43 seconds left here in the opening quarter. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. Looking at Memphis, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Suns.
Yeah, their defense got sliced and diced in that game. They just weren't closing down on perimeter shooters, not nearly quick enough. And then they gave up their fair share of those point-blank shots on the interior as well.
Something was clearly amiss for them, Greg. I mean, to let an opponent shoot that high a percentage, you got to take a real long look in the mirror after a game like that.
And they double him up with LeBron. Clock at 6. And again, it's Cleveland.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Conley inside the line. So as we end the first quarter, already. And a chance to hear from LeBron James as he talked about the challenge of remaining calm and collected throughout the ups and downs of the NBA season.
For me, at a younger age, I was never even keel. We would win a playoff game when I was younger. I was excited out of my mind, and then you would lose, and I was the worst person in the world. But I think at this point in my career, I kind of stay even. One game shouldn't affect the next game. You know, you go out and play as hard as you can, live with the result.
Again, just another part of the maturation process for LeBron. He becomes. Grizzlies also changing it up. Zach Randolph's checked in for Green, and Freak subbed in for Mike Conley.
And guys, one thing you sometimes gets lost. I mean, Mike Conley is a proven winner. Remember, you go back in high school, won 3 state titles, and the one season at Ohio State led them to the national title game. So that aspect of what he brings, the intangibles, you're going to be a winner if Mike Conley's on your roster.
So on the 4 for Memphis. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Allen is out there with Freak, and it's Barnes in at the small forward position. Outside Irving. And stolen by Freak. It's Allen with the drive. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. And for Mike Conley, growing up, he played on some tremendously talented teams. Guys like Greg Oden, Josh McRoberts, his teammates.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, he never had to really look for his own offense to win games with those kind of players around. And he came into the league more focused on setting up his teammates, and that's what he does well.
Mozgov with the block. Randolph against Smith. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Mozgov with the steal. Smith outside. Back to Mozgov. And Gasol sends it back. It's stolen by Smith. The pull-up. Smith missing again. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Inside. Here's Gasol, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And we know the Marc Gasol was one of the most sought-after free agents this past summer. Clark all along most figured he'd be back in Memphis.
Yep, a winning team, max dollars. And don't forget now, he went to high school in Memphis while his brother Powell played there. He's where he belongs.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Kevin Love's checked in for Mozgov. LeBron comes in for Shumpert, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for J.R. Smith.
Marc Gasol, a first-time All-Star starter last season. He and his brother Powell both starting in that game. The first time that's ever happened in league history, and having both those guys go head-to-head.
Chris Anderson is checked in for Memphis.
Oh, listen, no doubt you could argue Marc Gasol is the best center in the league right now. I mean, this guy does it all. Defends, rebounds, passes, scores. I mean, he's also a great teammate. They all love him, and to me that matters in the big picture. When you're talking about developing chemistry and trust, sometimes the difference between winning and winning it all is whether or not your teammates like you. Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
There's 1:17 left in the second quarter. And there's Thompson. That's good on the assist from Dellavedova. Dellavedova's got his 3rd assist on the night. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Suns stepped up to deliver. He picked up 5 points and did a good portion of his work from the free throw line as he drew a good number of fouls. We could see his role in this offense expand if he puts together more games like this one, guys.
All right, Doris. Well, what do you guys think? Does that kind of big performance energize a player in his next game?
Guys, it's tricky, you know, because when you work as hard as he did in that game, you tend to be a little worn down. But on the other hand, he also has to be feeling terrific in terms of the confidence about the state of his game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I'd say mentally he's in peak condition, while physically he could probably use a recharge.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Channing Frye's. And so we conclude the first half. Cavaliers up. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game. He's checked in for Tristan Thompson, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Anderson, he's checked in for Gasol. JaMychal Green comes in for Zach Randolph. P.J. Harrison's checked in for Matt Barnes. And Freak subbed in for Allen. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Dellavedova and Smith are the guard tandem. And it's Frye in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Dellavedova kicks to Shumpert. Mozgov with the bucket.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Dishes it to Freak. Outside, Green.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their teams. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Cavaliers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And so when you look at the season record, this one will tally up win number 43 on the year.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And, Greg, that's a nice feeling to get the sweep. Even though it is a small number, still nice to get that sweep.
And what a huge standout performance it was for LeBron James. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised. Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Shumpert dishes to Dellavedova. Jones, no one around him. Cleveland gets it back.
Move it. Move it.
Here is Hairston. Outside Conley. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. They poured it on tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives.
We got to forget about that one.
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, tell us a bit about the energy out
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James. And Kenny, you had some words earlier while the game was going on. What do you think?
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight.